Live from Sapphire Now 2013 Orlando. I'm Carolyn Fitton with SAP here on the mobile showcase floor. And I've got Jeff Collier with me today from the Mobile Innovation Group. How are you today, Jeff?
I'm doing great, Carolyn. How are you doing?
I'm good. I always love talking to you and talking to your group because you guys do such interesting stuff. Tell me about the Mobile Innovation Group, what you're doing, and really what's new and exciting here at Sapphire.
Well, what's new and exciting is we have lots of applications on these booths that are around us. We're announcing new ones this week. And there are customers here who are looking at those, but they don't always meet what customers are looking for. Very often they want to do something that we don't support yet, or they want to do something completely new that keeps them ahead of their competitors. So we have teams like ours. We're in Atlanta, Dublin, Singapore, and different places around the world, and we'll work with customers to ask them what's special about how they work with their customers, what's special about how they run their operations that makes them unique and better than others. We'll actually take those ideas and turn them into some mobile applications that help visualize what they're looking for. And it takes them through an innovation process and helps open their eyes to what's possible.
And so I know that there's different components to this innovation process. Can you walk me through the steps and what's involved?
Sure, absolutely. It very often starts with a design thinking workshop or some type of deeper dive on what are the issues, what can move the needle for that company. Then we'll go through a wireframing and prototyping to start to kind of bring to life. We're here in Orlando and Disney World's right around the corner. If you've ever been through how a cartoon is made, it goes from ideas to black and white to color, and it ultimately becomes a movie. It is brought to life, and that's what we do in about a 4-week process with customers, ultimately giving them an app that they can share.
That's really quick, and I've heard the term fail often but fail quickly. What does that mean?
You've heard fail often about our team?
No, but I've just heard the phrase in terms of when you're going through this rapid innovation cycle, it's okay to fail because it brings about learning opportunities. Can you let me know some customers that have done that and why it's okay to have that experience?
Yeah, just giving you a hard time. You're absolutely right. Actually, behind us here, Kiewit is sharing one of their stories. They're a large engineering construction company here in North America. We went through this exercise with them for receiving. They have bridges and roadways that are created over a multi-mile area, which is, you can't receive in a normal way like you would in a warehouse. So we went on site, we got our steel-tip boots and our big hats, and we went on one of their bulldozers and tried their facility to hear what their challenges were. We came back to them with a prototype over a 4-week period, which was on an iPad. And they reviewed it, they shared it to some of their users who looked at it and said, you know what, this is great, but half the time I don't even have my tablet with me. What I need is a phone. What I need is something that's slightly different in the way that items are received. And so we then, our custom development organization, the Mobile Design Center, took up the project and has built an iPhone for them that they've gone live with and they're talking about right behind us.
Very cool. So you're on site, you're taken out of your element. What's the craziest customer site that you've been to?
Wow. This isn't being filmed, is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Being in the mud that day, it was rainy, we were up to our knees. We've been in freezers, we've been on manufacturing facilities. Often we'll bring customers into Atlanta, which isn't nearly as fun as going out and visiting. We're still hoping to go to a brewery though. That should be.
I think that should be on the list. All right, well Jeff, I really want to see what you're doing. I know we've talked about it, but let's check out an app.
Okay.
The app that we're going to look at is for a manufacturing company. This app went through the same process that we talked about earlier, similar to the cartoon coming to life through black and white sketches, reviews with a customer, and then ultimately this particular application. You can see a home screen that looks very similar to what you might see on a common consumer app on a tablet today. And we're going to look at the virtual plant area and drill into some of their business areas. Here we're taken to KPIs that are brought from their different plants. You can see, instead of just looking at numbers on a table, you actually have indicators, a down arrow as well as a color, which are two different visual indicators to show that there's a problem with production in Houston. The logical thing for a user would be to click on it, which allows us to drill into more detail. Here, one of the things that the customer liked was to see a blueprint of the warehouse actually laid out with the problem area in red. When I tap on the HB1, the horizontal boring mill, I'm actually taken into that device. Here down the left-hand side, we can see the work order and the history of the product, which has been pulled in from SAP ERP, as well as a visual view of the product itself, where we're taking advantage of the images here on the mobile device.
So it serves as their mobile points card.
Back on the home screen, we're going to look at one other area of this application, and that's operations. You're looking at a carousel of production orders which have come in, which are again presented based on date, in sequential or chronological order for when they should be fulfilled. Here we'll click on and drill into the Petrobras order with the 10, 20, and 30 operation steps. These are manufacturing assembly steps. When we look at Operation 10, we'll see more of the details. Down the left-hand side, we see in text form what those steps are, but you'll see very quickly something different here on the mobile device. What you're looking at is a 3D model that is presented by SAP Visual Enterprise. The modeling technology allows us to pan, zoom, twirl, and inspect this model at a very close level, which is nice, but where the power comes in is to actually go through the steps. These are the assembly steps that are actually required for this operation. Now, as you can see, as we step down through a few of these, this helps and avoids complex training, not just for the application itself here on the tablet, but actually for how to even do the assembly steps. Now, as we finish the last step, you can see that the same type of panning, zooming is available with the finger. With every one of these steps, provide a different perspective if needed. Now, of course, that's the how. Of course, you need the what? You need the materials to go into the assembly steps. Here we've done an available promise against the back-end system, ERP, to see if the material is available. We see at the bottom that there are lock washers and another item that are not available. We're able to go through a material availability check and actually step into a stock transfer. On the screen you see large boxes, large text, and large buttons. As I click on the first one, this is the closest location where an item can be transferred from another stock location to mine. As I click, there's the response of the green button and the flash, and then I carry out the stock transport order, which is fulfilled in the back-end system.
Jeff, as always, such a pleasure speaking with you.
You as well, Carolyn.
And so I know a lot of customers are interested. Where can they go to get more information?
To sap.com/mobile. There's a mobile innovation site, which has introductions to some of the team members, maybe, and some of the stories that they can learn there.
Okay, I think everybody should check it out. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.